Dr. Cecilia Ngetich.
Yes, sir.
I want to take this opportunity to welcome you to this committee, the Senate Standing Committee for Finance and Budget. You are here for an interview in line with the requirements of the law, and I want to take this opportunity before we even start to tell you, please relax, consider everybody here as your colleagues. It's a very, it's a procedural exercise required by the law. It's not an interrogation. So make the best out of your time first by making sure you're very relaxed.
Thank you.
Number one. Number two, I would wish to say when you ask questions, the answers you give will be considered final. If you do not understand a question, please say, repeat the question, and we will gladly repeat, okay? But after you answer, because we have a number of candidates to go through, we will not have infinite time to be able to go back and forth, okay? So that also you need to know. Number three, which is extremely important, is the interview will take about 20 minutes.
Member of this committee, you're welcome. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Ngetich is my name, Senator from Migori County, a member of this committee with the experience that you should not be intimidated by Adwane. There is no hot question from Alwa.
Good afternoon, Madam.
Good afternoon,
Senator Faki, Mombasa County, member of this committee. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Dr.
Good afternoon to you.
Senator Tabitha Mutinda, Vice Chair to this committee.
And I am Ali Ibrahim Roba, Senator from Mandera County and the Chair to this committee. Now, without wasting a lot of time, if you are prepared, we can go into the interview. Start with the questions. You are ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Very good. Kindly introduce yourself to the committee and give a brief background of your academic qualifications, professional training and experience, work-related experience, any significant achievement that you may have achieved during your, work life that you feel would be of, that makes you most suitable candidate to be nominated for this position. Over to you.
Thank you, Chair and panel members. Good afternoon. So first here I want to say that I have a cold, so I might have a bit of a hoarse voice, but I'll make sure that I'm audible enough. So my name is Cecilia Ngetich from Bomet County. I'm a trained teacher, that is teacher by profession. I'm also a trained mediator, a motivator, and a mentor. I taught for over 27 years and also got the opportunity to be elected as the first woman rep of Bomet County, where I served in the National Assembly between 2013 to 2017. As a teacher in my teaching profession, I made a great impact by empowering young men and women. Those are students who pass through my hands. And I want to say I'm proud to say I'm an excellent teacher and also administrator, which is demonstrated by the numerous awards that I won. So I want to say I've really contributed a lot to the workforce in this country, the leaders that are here. A number of them have even become members of parliament, senators, doctors, and I'm hoping one day to see one of my students to be the president of this country. Now, while at the National Assembly, we managed with my colleagues, you might recall that when we came in as the first women reps, there was no national government affirmative action plans. So we teamed up and created a legislation that created the National government affirmative funds as a group, but personally, I was able to enact a legislation, that is the Kenya Engineering and Technology Act 2016. Now this really made an impact because you'll recall every year the technical universities in Kenya were going on strike because the technicians and technologists did not have a professional body. So that legal instrument gave rise to the Kenya Engineering and Technology Registration Board, so they found a home there. So I want to say that's one, and beside, of course, working within the community, helping young girls and fighting against the gender-based violence like FGM and others. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, because I see you've missed some very important parties.
Yes.
Have you received honors, awards, or publications that have been recognized?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Yeah, I was going to mention that probably in the academic area, but let me do it now. Okay, and my first undergraduate is Bachelor of Education Science, majorly biology, because in Kenyatta University we do both zoo, and then you pick up a second teaching subject. I went ahead and did Masters in Business Administration and majoring in Human Resource Management. Chair, that is one of the aspects that I want to say, that SRC being one of the factors is really on human resource, and remuneration gives me those qualifications that are very suitable. And
Dr. Cecilia,
yes,
I know you are a politician, and if you are given the opportunity, you will talk as much. But
okay, sorry.
because we have given 20 minutes,
Okay.
I really want you to take advantage of that time.
Okay, thank you, Chair.
If you go precise, straight.
Thank you,
For
Chair.
example, have you, academic, I hold only
Yes.
degree, master's degree, undergraduate.
Okay.
If you have other awards that are awarded
Thank you, Chair.
or honors, if you have made any publications, just say, yes, I have done this, okay?
I'm guided, Chair. So I want to say that after my master's, I started a PhD, but I have not completed. But then I was awarded an honorary doctorate by Technical University of Kenya because of the impact I created through my legislation and generally through the support of education. Thank you, Chair.
Any affiliation to professional body?
Yes, Chair. I'm a member of the Chartered Institute of Mediators and also corporate governance.
Senator Tabitha?
Dr. Cecilia, out of data analysis, we have about 523 public organizations that are offering the SRC roles in terms of remuneration to staffing and wages. But in that research, it has been indicated that there has been situations whereby unfit employees are earning remunerations, maybe without the correct qualifications and things like that. So what strategies would you recommend to ensure optimal staffing levels?
Thank you, panelists. So one of the strategies, of course, when setting up of salaries, it has to be fair across the board. For example, if you do job evaluation, you do a job description, job evaluation, so that you advise on the levels, so that if you are in one public institution doing more or less the same job as another institution doing more or less the same job, their salary should not be different. So some of the strategies that I would involve, of course, is to conduct a market survey, look at maybe what are maybe international employers or local employers, private, are doing. Then now you see where you can benchmark. Number two, really salaries should be pegged on productivity, because especially maybe implementing the performance contract so that you can remunerate according to, the productivity. You also, the salaries also, a strategy that should be used in looking at that is, sustainability. Are they really sustainable? Because you can't just maybe pay so much or and you are not going to afford. Another thing is also being, to be very transparent, especially when you are setting salaries. An employee should know that I'm able to move from one grade to another, and what am I required to do if I have to be moved to that kind of grade. So there are quite a number of strategies, like you must have a salary also that will retain. Remember, we are competing with the private sector, so retain and maintain skilled workers. So that, and during the process of recruitment, there should be scrutinized documents so that we don't get the fake documents, and also look at the background training so that you employ people according to their ability, what they have actually trained for.
Senator Eddy? Tafaki, my apologies.
Thank you, Chair. Mheshimiwa Member of Parliament.
Yes.
Yes. What do you perceive as the role of the Salaries and Remuneration Commission in, as far as supporting the principles of devolution?
The role of Salaries and Remuneration Commission is one, to set and regularly review the salaries of the state officers, and they also advise national and county public officers wages and benefits. So in terms of devolution, because alongside they have to also advise on the levels using the PFM Act, so that the percentage of wage bill versus development should be at the acceptable level of 30%. So they really offer advice so that there is development at the end of the day, productivity.
Senator Eddy?
Mheshimiwa, there has been a lot of public outcry and the public participation during the decision making of the commission, SRC. Can you give us a highlight of what you see as the past assessment of public participation in the commission, and how would you create a new framework to better public participation in the commission's decision making procedures and processes?
Thank you, Chair. The level of participation with the SRC and has been maybe at the top level. For example, they discuss with the employer bodies, or for example, we have the unions, we have the employers like Parliamentary Service Commission, etc. But I want to believe that there has to be a policy enacted whereby it is, because the spirit of devolution was actually bottom up, where if there is participation, let it start from the bottom, and we have an overview of the entire system of national and vote. So I think expanding, getting a policy to expand the level of discussion among the SRC commissioners and other bodies that are involved.
Okay, Senator Shakila.
Thank you, Chair. My question is, what is the difference between the role of SRC Commission and those of the SRC Secretariat?
The role of the SRC commissioners, as I said, is that they conduct surveys, they look at the market, and then they are able to advise the national and county governments on the benefits and remuneration. Now, the Secretariat offer the support and documentation and communication, facilitation, all those support services like accounts, paying. We have the transport and other departments to support the commission.
Senator Kalwale.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman, allow me three very brief questions. The first one is that, Mheshimiwa, during your tenure as an elected member of parliament, you handled 105 million shillings. What legacy did you leave in Bomet for this 105 million shillings that you handled? Number two, as Dr. Martin Luther would have said, you have been to the mountaintop. Reaching to the level of an elected member of parliament, you are at the mountaintop of this country. And there is a serious debate in this country on the issue of the wage bill. One school of thought is that pay members well, but reduce the number of wards, constituencies, and counties to manage the wage bill. The other school of thought, Mheshimiwa, is that let those units stay, but cut the salaries by whatever percentage. I would like you to address this panel on this school of thought debate. My final point is, please help me. Currently, you are now going into, if you succeed, into the commission. Currently, what is the salary of the president, the deputy president, the governor, the senator, the MP, and the MCA?
Thank you, Chair. The legacy I left in Bomet County, and I want to mention that we only received actually half of the first allocation because the monies came in the year 2015-16. However, I left a legacy because out of the bursary funds that we were allocated, I used it to, I decided, because we were being advised that don't do what members of parliament are doing. So I sponsored over 200 young fellows in the vocational polytechnic. That is, okay, formerly they are called village polytechnics. They didn't pay even a cent. They did artisan course that lasted 1 year, fully sponsored. So I believe they are now doing their work. They are able to carry on their work. Now, the wage bill indeed is very high. Currently, it is at 1.1. To reduce it, of course, the option of saying we reduce the number of representative areas, I would not advocate for that, because there was a good reason why we want services to reach down to the people. Again, we will be negating the spirit of devolution, and where services were, due to bureaucracies, they were not getting to the people, and the marginalized areas were remaining. So I would not go with that option. Now, number two, retaining, I would also not support the option of cutting down the salaries, because the set salaries have been based on, again, the roles of members of parliament play, and matched with international other area, maybe like regional practices. So there are many other ways in which we can actually cut the wage bill, like pilferage, wastage, and looking at job description, and avoiding unnecessary, maybe like the so-called people are saying, trips and other things that we can cut off. So otherwise I wouldn't go. And again, international human resource practices, you can never reduce salaries of anybody. You only use other strategies to do that. Thank you.
Commissioner Joyce.
Please finish with the salaries of the officers.
Sorry. Yes, the president's salary is 1.4 million. There could be, the deputy president is 1.2. The governor is 980,000. For members of parliament, the basic is 329, not very exact, but basic salary, because I haven't looked at, without looking into those benefits.
Okay.
So for the MCS, did you, sorry, Chair?
No,
Did you say-
that's enough,
Okay.
Cecilia.
Sorry.
That's enough. Commissioner Joyce?
Yeah, thank you. You're welcome, Daktari. Describe for us a situation where you resolve conflicts or high tension successfully, and how you managed it.
Thank you, through the chair.
And be very brief deliberately.
Thank you, thank you.
How much time have we taken already?
Okay, resolving of conflict is really through dialogue. And I'm happy that being a mediator, you bring the two parties together, they bring their issues and look for a mid situation, a win-win situation where they come and agree. One raises issues, the other raises issues, and you come to an agreement. That is through dialogue.
Very good, Senator Eddie. Paki. Now I have one last question before I release you. We are doing this recruitment on behalf of an entity. On whose behalf are we doing this recruitment today?
It's on behalf of the county governments.
Very good. Now we are done with our questions. I want to find out, before we conclude, do you have any comment, concern, or statement before we close?
Thank you, Chair. I want to appreciate this opportunity that I've been given to appear before this distinguished committee, and want to say that given this opportunity, I can go and make the difference in SRC and translating to also the county governments. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Cecilia. Now I want to